friends, Jerry Rosa here in the Rosa Stringworks Workshop. Today is Tuesday, June 21st, 2022, and you are looking at one wore out dude. I am so sore I can barely move. I've been working so hard on all that equipment, then I cut hay all day yesterday. Here's a short video explaining a little bit about what I did yesterday. This is what I did yesterday. Cut this field for hay. It's quite a job. And it's roughly 4 to 5 acres, I'm guessing. And it's cut all with a old Ford tractor with a sickle bar. If you bought these new, these are expensive these days. They're probably $3,000 to $5,000, somewhere in there. I only gave $500 for this one. This is one of those what they call a balanced head. Everything rotates, and then it converts that rotation into the sickle bar sliding sideways. Well, anyway, the bottom line is this thing was bent like a pretzel when I bought it, and I only gave $500 for it, but I had to do a ton of work to make it work. And it works pretty well, but there's a pin down in this area here that attaches the blade, this horizontal blade, to the part that rotates and causes the vibration to go back and forth. That pin breaks quite often, and so I had to make several of those pins yesterday. And I even had to make a new bushing in there. And fortunately I have a metal lathe, so I could do all of that. But man, it was a job. There's another field way back there in the back that I may go cut that's nearly this size. It's not quite this big, maybe. With the state of the economy and the way things are these days, I think we better have more hay than less because of all the horses that my wife and my son have. I'm about the only one that can operate this thing, so because it's just really complicated to keep it working. It's so old. It does do a pretty good job, and you know, it'd be easy to just go spend $60,000 on a new tractor and new equipment, new haying equipment, but for this small production it just doesn't make sense. Hope you enjoyed seeing that little video clip there. Of course, I filmed that with my phone. Catching up on what's going on in the shop, not very much to be honest, because I have to do some more of that hay work yet today. Probably cut some more hay. And then I'll need to work on the hay rake to get it ready to rake all this hay. And then I'll need to work on the baler to get it ready to bale all this hay. So it's just a process. And yeah, brand new equipment is wonderful, but you know, it comes with a huge price tag. And for our little tiny operation here, it's kind of better that it just works me to death for 2 or 3 days and then it's over with. That's just the reality, sad reality at that. In terms of the other stuff in the shop though, the Yamaha has left the building. I got to thinking about it yesterday with all the hassle of me working on that hay equipment. I don't know that I have a ending video for that Yamaha. So that Yamaha video, when you get to see how we fix it, may actually have kind of an abrupt ending, unfortunately. So we'll just have to wait and see how that goes. I can't remember what I did record and what I didn't. You know, like I say, it is what it is. I did get a little bit of work done yesterday morning on this mandolin, on the 2-point Alvarez mandolin. I did get the fingerboard off, fretboard off, and it does have a unique kind of a truss rod system there. The truss rod's down in there very deep, and it's really, really rusted. And they only have this one section here in the middle for the truss rod to pull up on, which is probably why there's such an underbow. It's probably not a very effective truss rod. So I'll probably, while I've got this apart, see what I can do to improve this truss rod, and that will help with this underbow issue that this thing seems to have. In terms of the twist in it, I think what I'm going to do probably is just carve the twist out of it in this case. In other words, you know, it's kind of twisted, I'm exaggerating, but it's kind of twisted like this. So I'll just carve a little bit more off of this side and level it out and make it flat. I think that's going to work. I may actually carve some of the underbow out of it also, because it's got quite an underbow, and most of that underbow seems to come right here. It's kind of a ducktail flip up right here. So I may carve a lot of that down. Unfortunately though, the bridge height is not that high presently. So I'll have to think about all of that and try to get it set up the best way I can get it set up. And that may have to be after I get this all leveled and straight. I may actually have to put a wedge in here to raise it up enough to do this, because I'm not going to take the neck back out of this thing, especially since it's already been out of here once. I can tell somebody's done that, and they've, you know, who knows what they used. They may have used epoxy. It kind of looks like that's what they did use, actually, because of all the stuff spread around here at the joint. So I'm not about to try to take that apart. And mandolins are not easy to take apart anyway when it comes to the neck. They're a lot harder than guitars. At least that's my opinion. So you'll see more on this in days to come, but it's mostly a head scratcher right now, trying to figure it all out. Once again, we'll be playing this evening at Dickey's Barbecue in Rolla, Missouri, so if you happen to be around in the area this evening or just passing through, which would even be a cooler benefit, just stop in there. It'll be around 6 to 6:30 we'll get started, and it's good food, and we'll have some fun playing some music. That's assuming I can even move my hands to play music. I may have to leave most of the music tonight up to the other guys. The whole band's going to be there, I think, tonight, so that's kind of a benefit too. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in.